Hello, colleague. Welcome to my channel. We are so excited to launch this advanced Python with
Data analytics course.
with your little support. We launched a few advanced courses like Excel, SQL, and Power BI. Please support me more with subscribe, like, and shares. Trust me, I'll give you many advanced courses. This is a real-time course with detailed explanation of each and every topic. Comment your thoughts below. It will help us. And remember, your support fuels our mission. Let's grow together. Without any further delay, let's go to the video.
Right. So in this session, we'll try to understand what is Python, what is the usage of this Python, and how Python will be used for data analysis. We'll try to understand how to install Python application. When I say Python application, we'll try to understand how to install Anaconda and how to launch Jupyter application. So we'll see. So what is Python? Python is a free open source programming language that is both powerful and easy to learn. So Python is the open source programming language. So to learn Python or to use Python, we don't need to pay any license cost for Python. So it's a open source and it's free to learn. Right? Python is a free open source programming language mm, that is both powerful and easy to learn. Right? So it has become one of the most popular language in the world due to its accessibility, flexibility, and ease of use, and it supports a wide range of applications. So Python supports a wide range of applications. It's including so it supports data data analytics. Then if you want to develop any software application, so it will support for software development. And if you want to perform any predictive analytics, like if you want to use some machine learning, yes, with the help of Python we can perform machine learning concepts learning. And if you wanted to scrap the data from websites, so Python supports web scraping. And Python also supports if you want to develop some game, then yes, we can use Python for game development, right? And like in this session, we'll try to understand why Python for analytics. So the first thing is scalability. So unlike most analytics tools or a self-service BI platforms, um, so if you want to use any other applications, um, let's say in case of Tableau or Power BI, we need to have some license. We need to have some license. But coming to Python, as it's open source free and it is free to use, and we can build. Um, I would say if we want to perform some analysis, yes, with the help of Python, we can perform data analysis. Plus the scalability. Unlike most analytics tools or self-service business intelligence platform, Python is open source, free to use, and built for scale. And then Python is if you want to perform automation, if you want to perform some automation using Python, yes, it's possible. For automation purpose, Python can automate complex tasks, complex tasks and workflows out of the box without complicated integrations, or custom plugins, because Python supports variety of packages. So with the help of these packages, we can automate the tasks, right? And then it's a community. So even the community, like Python have a large community where you can share the resource and you can connect with other users. And if you have some questions, you can post the questions, you can get the answers from the community. Large and active Python user community. Community where you can share resources and connect with other users. And the one is like a demand. Python is like skill are valuable and highly sought. If you want to become a BI professionals or analytics professionals, yes, you must know Python. Valuable, highly sought after, and are becoming increasingly popular among analytic analytics and business intelligence professionals, right? And if you know the Python analytics ecosystem, um, for general purpose programming, if you master in base Python, like how to use the packages and libraries, um, you can, if you have a solid foundation on the base Python, it is easy to use the packages and libraries available in Python. Can write here analytics ecosystem. First one is can write general purpose programming. Can write here mastering base Python will give you a solid foundational understanding of the language, right, which is essential for using packages and libraries effectively, right? And if you want to perform any data manipulation and analysis using Python, so we have a library called pandas. So with the help of pandas will help us to structure the data with the help of, like, it's similar to your um, data in the form of rows and columns. It provides a collection of analytical functions that help us to manipulate the data and calculate the metrics. And to understand the data, yes, we use pandas. So in Python, if you are mastering in base Python, that will help us to understanding of the how to use the packages, how to use the libraries effectively. And if you want to work with data manipulation or data analysis in Python, then we need pandas, right? Right here. So data manipulation and analysis, pandas help us structure our data into data set formats similar to those you would see in SQL or Excel, right? It also provides us with a collection of analytical functions. So if you want to do any analysis, and if you, there's a good amount of functions available in pandas, so with the help of those pandas we can directly use those functions and we can perform the analysis on the data that help us to manipulate data and calculate the metrics we need to understand our data, right? And one more use of this Python, if you want to perform some data visualization, let's say I want to create some bar chart or line chart. Yes, we can create a charts using Python. So if you want to perform data visualization using Python, so we have a two major libraries. One is matplotlib, and Cbun can create wide array of visually appealing static visualizations, right? And if you want to perform interactive visualizations, then we have a library called plotly, can be used to create interactive visualization and dynamic dashboards. Can add here data visualizations. So if you want to perform data visualization, so we have matplotlib and Cbun can create a wide array of, I can say, array of visual visually appealing static visualization, static visualizations, right? And we have plotly. Plotly can be used to create interactive visualizations and dynamic dashboards. And using Python, as I mentioned previously, we can also perform predictive analytics, nothing but machine learning. So if you want to perform machine learning in Python, then we have scikit-learn. With the help of scikit-learn library, we can easily perform machine learning. And if you want to wanted to use some statistical model building, then we have stat models. And if you want to perform any deep learning models, then we have TensorFlow. See, for machine learning, we have scikit-learn. Scikit-learn is among the most popular tools for building and testing machine learning models, right? And we have stats models. This will provides a suite of tools for model building and statistical analysis. And we have TensorFlow. The TensorFlow is the industry standard for developing developing deep learning deep learning models, right? So overall, with the help of Python, we can perform data analysis. If you want to perform data analysis, then we need pandas. To performing a visualization, we need matplotlib and Cbun. With the help of these two libraries, we can create static visualization. And if you want to perform interactive visualization, then we need to use plotly. And to perform any machine learning models, then we have to use scikit-learn. And for to building statistical models, we use statistical models. And then to perform any deep learning models, to create any deep learning models, we use TensorFlow. Right? No. So Python is a interpreted and object oriented high level programming language. Connect here. Python is an interpreted object oriented high level programming language. So when I say interpreted means in Python, if you write a code, it will execute the code line by line by an interpreter rather than being compiled into machine learning code. So the advantage of this line by line code execution, this makes it is easier to debug the code. If there is any error or you wanted to execute line by line, you want to see some error is coming. So on which line we are getting an error. So if you want to debug the code, then it is more flexible, but can slower than compiled languages. When I say compiled languages like C or Java, it's little slow because it is not a compiled code. It is a interpret. It is an interpreter. So interpreter will help us to execute the code line by line. Right? And as I mentioned, it's a object oriented. So when I say object oriented, Python supports object oriented programming, meaning it allows us to creating and manipulation of objects. So we'll see what is object oriented in coming session. So the usage, if you want to use the same code in multiple places or you wanted to reuse the code, then here we have a concept called classes and objects. So with the help of class and objects, we can reuse the code. Right? And third one I mentioned as it's a high level programming language. So Python is a high level programming language means it abstracts away complex details of computer hardware, making it is easier to read, write, and maintain. Right? This allow developer to focus on the logic rather than low level data like memory management. Those kinds of things will be taken care by Python. Right? So when I say high level, it's as it is only a concept of memory management. So in other languages, like if I take of concept of a C, so in memory management, developer has to take care of with how much memory is allocating for each variable declaration, those things. But coming to Python, Python will automatically take the memory management. So we don't need to bother about the memory management when it comes to Python. So we just need to focus on the only the code part, like focusing on the logic. Let me write here. Interpreted means interpreted. So here Python code is executed line by line, line by line by an interpreter rather than being compiled into machine code beforehand. Right? So this makes it is easier to debug and more flexible, but can be slower than compiled languages like C or Java. Right? Then as I mentioned, it's object oriented. So Python supports object oriented programming. Nothing but we call as a oops, meaning it allows the creation and manipulation of objects. So uses this makes it easier to organize and reuse code using classes and objects. Right? And as I mentioned, it's a high level. When I say high level, Python is the high level programming, meaning meaning it abstracts away complex complex details of the computer's hardware, making it is easier to read, write, and maintain. So this allows to focus on logic rather than low level details like memory management. Right. Fine. Now we'll try to understand. So we'll to run your Python to learn Python. So what we are going to use? We are going to use Anaconda. So how to install Anaconda? What is Anaconda? Anaconda is a open source package manager, environment manager, and distribution of Python and R programming languages. So it is commonly used for large scale data processing, scientific computing, and predictive analytics, serving data scientists and developers, business analytics, and those who are working in DevOps. Right. So we'll try to understand. So we are going to use Anaconda to learn Python. So we'll try to see how to install Anaconda. Uh, First, we'll try to see what is Anaconda. Then we'll try to understand how to install Anaconda. Right. So Anaconda is an open source package manager, environment manager, and distribution of the Python and R programming language. Right? It is commonly used for large scale data processing, scientific computing, and predictive analysis. Right? Serving data scientists, developers, business analysts, and those working in DevOps. Right. Fine. Now we'll try to understand how to install Anaconda. Right. For installation of Anaconda, uh, open Google and here type Anaconda download. Anaconda download. So you will see the first link www.anaconda.com. You can download Anaconda distribution. Click on this Anaconda distribution. Now in this, the first page, it will asking you to for registration. No need to register. You can directly click on here, skip registration, and they will get an option, download option for Windows. Just click on here, download option. So it is downloaded. Let me open downloads folder. Yeah, we have Anaconda. Let's say click on here, open run. Click on next. Then click on license agreement. I agree. Then just me. All users require admin privileges. Just like just me recommended. So just only for this system we wanted to use. So I click on here just me and say next. And again click on here next. If you want, we can change the location where so default is going to use in C colon users folder. Say here next, and click on here install. Create a shortcut key. Yes, it's going to create a shortcut key on the desktop, and just click on here next. So we don't need any path environment variables for now, and it's saying that register Anaconda 3 as my default Python 3.12. Yes, it's okay. So click on here install. Right. Now you see it'll take a little time. It takes time. Just we need to wait a couple of minutes. Fine. So basically it takes little time. So just we need to click on, after that next will activate. Next and finish. Let's state one, we'll stay one for one more minute, and then I have already installed, then I will show you once it is installed how it's going to be look like.
Okay.
Let me show you. So it takes time. Let's say you can click on your start and say search for Anaconda. It's been already installed. So you can see here Anaconda Navigator app. Right. So once we open Anaconda Navigator, so to open Anaconda Navigator, click on your start button and search for Anaconda Navigator. Anaconda Navigator, click on this Anaconda Navigator, it will open uh, Anaconda Navigator window. So in this, these are all IDs, whatever we see here, these are all IDs. So we can use now for our sessions, we are going to use Jupyter Notebook. We are going to use this Jupyter Notebook. This is an IDE. Um, it is a development environment. So IDE, so we're going to launch Jupyter Notebook. We're going to use Jupyter Notebook here, right? So this Jupyter Notebook is a web application. So that allows you to combine explanatory text, math questions, code, and visualization all in one. And it is easy to shareable document. If you want to share any in code with your team members, so yes, it is easy to share, right? So Anaconda Navigator contains multiple IDEs for our sessions. For data analysis purpose, we are going to use Jupyter Notebook. So Jupyter Notebook is a web application. So once we click on here launch, you see it is going to be launch web application. Let's see, now one second. Either it is opening here or in this window. Now you see it is opening here in this window. Right? You see Jupyter. Once we click on here, Jupyter Jupyter launch. So it is going to open a web browser. Under web browser, it is going to launch a Jupyter notebook, Jupyter option. And if you wanted to open a new workbook, uh, we can see here localhost. So localhost 888 is the default one. And we click on here new and say Python 3. So once we click on here Python 3, it is going to open a Jupyter notebook. Right? So, so we are going to use this Jupyter notebook for our coming sessions. Okay, right. So I'll just stop here.
With your little support, we launched a few advanced courses like Excel, SQL, and Power BI. Please support me more with subscribe, like, and shares. Trust me, I'll give you many advanced courses. This is a real-time course with detailed explanation of each and every topic. Comment your thoughts below. It will help us. And remember, your support fuels our mission. Let's grow together.